Hello, everybody. Welcome to Michelle's Inspiration Hour, where each life story shared on this show is a wellspring of inspiration. I'm your host, Michelle, and today we're honored to introduce our next guest, Naranjan Nota, a beacon of guidance, mentorship, and spirituality. With over 15 years in the corporate and not for profit sectors, she is not just an expert in the professional realm, but also a profound spiritual guide. She dives into the subtle influence of others' judgments on your goals, both personal and professional, unlocking pathways to success. Join us on a brave expedition as she invites you to embrace infinite possibilities, forging unity, mind, body, and spirit and soul. It's time to awaken your authentic self. And I always love to say that. Don't miss out on this incredible insights awaiting for you. So I'm so excited to bring her on. Let's do it. Hello, hello.
Hello, Michelle. So good to be here on the show with you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, and I am really excited to have this conversation because I know that my listeners really want to look at how to heal, mind, body, and soul. And and it's so interesting how what area of expertise that we go into as, spiritual healers, that we experience so much, learning experience. And so what I really want to know from you first is I know that, you learned a lot when you were younger. You had a lot of, should I say, baggage, a lot of barriers. What really made you say to yourself, I am ready to heal?
When life presented experiences, be it people, places, and things, and it felt like I was buried under a rock.
Right.
We've
Right.
all been in those spaces where we're like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm tired of this.
Mhm.
That's when it.
Absolutely. Well, okay, so once you said enough is enough, did you get a spiritual healer, another person to help guide you, or did you find it within yourself?
Throughout the journey of my own evolution, I've always had a curiosity for the mysticism and the astral world and all that kind of stuff. Um, when my corporate life got really busy and really messy, to find my own sanity and balance and harmony in life, I'd always been in a space of learning more about myself, learning more about the other worlds. So I'd
Mhm.
always had that commitment. So when I'd got to the point where the scales were really imbalanced in my life, it really presented it really loudly. And I'm fortunate enough to have individuals around me to say, look, I think this is my tipping point. And their authenticity for my well-being was their objective.
Oh, wow. See, and I think the universe probably presented you these friends, these people that are around you.
Yes.
Because a lot of us also, it's so interesting, we get into a job that does not fulfill us, fulfill our soul. We don't have the passionate. And like you said, we don't really show our authentic selves. I mean, it's almost I always always describe it as the sunglass person.
Yes.
Somebody who puts sunglasses on, a hat, and you kind of hide behind it. And there's so much, but whenever I went onto your website, I just, I read everything that you had put in all your information. And to me, you are so knowledgeable. You have really, it seems like you already knew the knowledge was there. You just had to find it into yourself.
Yep.
So, what do you tell people that go, I know my authentic self, I just don't know how to show others who I truly am? What do you say to them?
You got to believe it for you first. So even though I knew it, even as a teenager, I knew it, but truly embodying that belief, not from an egotistical space, but truly feeling in and go, okay, there is a deeper knowing in me, and I need to lean into that. And trusting in it, whole
Mhm.
different conversation. That to me was the catalyst of me going, okay, I can heal on a deep level, and let me create space so I can guide others too.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Absolutely love it. And I know a lot of us are, get a little bit scared. Now, whenever we start um reaching out and finding ourselves, the one thing really interests me is the past karmic lifetimes. So can you share with everybody what exactly is that?
As a soul and embodying this human vessel, which is an aspect and I would say a fragment of divine source light, whatever you want to call that, universe, God, light source, whatever name you want to label, you want to give that. That's an aspect of our
Mm.
soul. And as we get incarnated as human beings on this planet and we have lifetime after lifetime, some things we do well, some things we don't. But every single time we hear, we come with perhaps a laundry list of experiences that our soul wants us to experience because we are in soul school.
Mhm.
This life on this planet is like a soul school. We have all these experiences, we have these people, we have these contracts, and some we achieve and some we don't. So then we come back and again and
Mm.
again and again to do the wrong, to right the wrongs that we have done for ourselves, but also for our ancestors and our lineage, those who've come before us. We get this opportunity to heal their wounds too.
And that's a very interesting point that you bring up your ancestral, what their belief system, what they have gone through, and their healing. How do we, it's in ourselves. So how do we heal that? How can we, heal our ancestry pain and what they've gone through while we're here presently?
Everything is energy, and I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason. So, from an ancestral level, we have access to all of that here because this is where they birthed, this is where they deathed.
Mhm.
It's just the energy that the soul, the spirit has left. But the negations of their actions are still embedded on this planet. And we have access to that. So, therefore, we have access to their wisdom. We can call
Mm.
it in and utilize that energy, that power, that knowing to heal on this very third dimensional physical level to change the vibrational frequency of that experience on this planet.
Oh my goodness. I absolutely love how you explain things.
Thank you.
I could listen to you for hours. I mean, it's just you explain it so well
Thank you.
and so poetically. I
Mhm.
mean, it is really, I just love this conversation. So, a lot of times that kind of brings me for some reason to Mother
Mhm.
Earth. Okay, the energy of Mother Earth. And someone that really doesn't understand what that means, can you kind of explain, the philosophy behind that?
There's a number of ways. One is I want to call her Mother Earth because she's a planet who is evolving. She's an element of consciousness. Every single planet in the solar system has consciousness and the space in between. So you're sitting in your home, I'm sitting in mine, but the space in between us is active consciousness.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
the Mother Earth, Gaia, the planet that we call Earth, has a consciousness and has a frequency. So when she evolves, we evolve, and vice versa. When we heal some of the deeper pain that has been installed in us and that we get to heal, it's an option.
Mm-hmm.
She then heals.
Oh, wow. Now, how do you help people find their consciousness? Find the difference between their subconscious and their conscious.
I would say in the world that we live in, the busyness that we
Yeah.
have is to bring the awareness and bring all fragments of yourself away from your social media, away from the attention of the conversation of with friends, or ruminating on past conversations that might have caused you pain and hurt. Bring all of
Right.
that back, and I would say bring the awareness into your heart so you can actually be present. Because how many times, I have lost count how many times I did it in the past and still do it every now and then,
Right.
where my mind is
Right.
somewhere else and my body is doing something else. So
Mm-hmm.
we want to be packaged as whole. So bring the conscious self in its full awareness in this body, then we can see what life is really presenting to us.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so what kind of brings me to what power of words, okay, that we talk about. That what we think is as bad as what we say. Can you kind of address that?
Because everything is energy, and just because we don't give it the additional energy of uttering it, the vibrational frequency that still happens in the brain, the neurons that fire together, is still an energetic charge.
Oh, I see.
It still happens.
That, and to me, sometimes, yeah, and sometimes it's really hard to, have those positive thoughts. A lot of times I have to stop myself because, I'm still human, learning this human condition, and so I have to stop those thoughts. And I know, gosh, what is very, very difficult for people is to forgive. Forgive not only yourself, but to forgive others. So how do you how could you approach somebody and tell them how they can forgive both?
Okay. So, one thing I do want to address before I answer that question you mentioned is
Yeah.
keeping and maintaining the happy thoughts, the positive thoughts.
Right. Right.
I'd invite individuals to recognize the unhappy thoughts. So, those unhappy thoughts that are actually coming in and taking space and trying to curb for your attention are coming from the subconscious mind. And that dialogue is coming from other aspects and fragments of our soul and karmic experiences. So they're actually nuggets of wisdom and gifts that are trying to get your attention. So ushering them out and putting them under the rug or under the mattress or just shiny object syndroming isn't helping you and isn't helping them. So give them the space that they are looking for, but it doesn't mean you need to engage with them.
I got it. Yeah, because I think a lot of times we do put it under the rug because it's so painful instead of recognizing it, embracing it, and then letting it go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. Yes. Yes. So, yeah. So, how can people forgive themselves?
So in terms of the forgiveness is when we look at what the soul is a fragment of universal source light. So if I am quested to forgive you, then rather than looking at it from the perspective of you wronged me or I wronged you, if we're all a spark of infinite source, then who's forgiving who?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. Can you say that one more time?
I don't know about that. If we are all ultimate sparks of God and infinite wisdom,
Mhm.
then who needs to forgive who? And why do we need to
Yeah.
forgive? It's the human ego aspects that's clenching onto the victim perpetrator, which is the whole component of our past karmic life and karma and drama that we choose to embody.
Oh, I love it. Because I know that, I work with so many people that are having trouble forgiving others. And it's a traumatic experience a lot of times. And I love what you just said because, we do have to work through it, but we have to remember that we're all one at the same time,
Absolutely. Yes.
and I absolutely love that. Now, as I understand, my dear, because you're a trader of all trades. So you have done astrology, numerology, chakras. You've looked at women's health. You're a Reiki master. You're a personal transformation program. You've got a certificate in that and higher conscious teaching, medical intuitive. And I love this. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. And I've done this type of yoga teacher,
Kundalini.
There you go.
You got it.
I absolutely love that type of yoga. And, and you do look at the trauma and the counseling, the training of grief and loss. So let me ask you, I know you love all of them, but which one do you really feel like, oh my gosh, when I do this type of work, I absolutely feel it in my soul?
Oh my goodness. You asked a hard question.
I know it's tough.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's like looking into your soul. and I mean, you might only have just a couple of favorite, but I know you do them all. Yeah. But which one do you, maybe it's the first one that you learned from, there's different reasons why you like one over the other. Which one would you, looking into your soul?
I don't know if I could cherry pick one. Rather, it's where is it leading me to? So granted, I have learned a lot of different modalities. The objective is what's the best way for me to support an individual to tap into their soul and into their heart.
And I totally agree with that statement because I feel like we're drawn to learn something that will get us up those steps, one step at a time. But I do want to talk about the yoga. Okay. Because whenever I saw that, I thought I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
And I really, because I went to, and I've just restarted yoga again, but the yoga teacher is fantastic, but you feel all of this energy, whenever you're doing this type of yoga. Can you kind of tell people what the objective is for that type of yoga? It's not regular yoga.
It's not, no.
Does it?
Yeah. The Kundalini yoga is, I would say, more specific, and it's a very unique practice to bring up everything that we don't want to look at. Yes. It's not to be done at a retreat for 2 days and rah about it because how it made you feel afterwards. Right. It will 100%, if you do it well, it's to be done through a guided process because it will bring up things, be it in that moment or be it 7 days later or 6 months later, stuff. It's designed to bring up emotional pain and trauma that is embedded in this cellular structure called the body that needs to be transformed.
And that's why I brought it up because it is so different. And I had never heard of it before. And I know a lot of my listeners may not have as well. So that's one reason why I wanted to bring it up because it is so healing. Yes. And you're working on that energy because a lot of people go, well, where do I need to start? Well, that's one good place. Like you said, it's a guided and you think it's going to be all fun and everything. I just loved feeling all the energy around me. Yeah. Because I could feel my spirit team, my spiritual, I could feel them coming to help heal me. Yes. Because you don't feel alone. You can feel all the other energy. And plus you've got other people in the room. Well, I can see where it could be also done in a coaching situation. Yes. But I could also feel everybody else's energy. And it's like we were exchanging and supporting one another. And if I felt somebody's energy being really low, I would send them
Mm.
some healing energy at the same
Beautiful.
time. So thank you
Yeah.
for explaining
Yeah.
that. Okay, so I want to show a picture of your book,
Thank you.
and it's See Your Light 12-month Gratitude Journal.
Yes.
Can you tell us what this is all about and why you thought I need to get this out on the market?
I started doing it for myself. Just like
Ah,
the coaching practice or any time I support individuals through their own process, I do it myself. And I'd
oh,
been writing my gratitude and really carving out and being very consciously aware of what I do with my time, my energy, my moments, and my thoughts. And this was a
mm,
tool that kind of was birthed from my own process of healing. I still to this day use my own tool, and I wanted to share it. I shared it intimately with some of my coaching clients that I have, and then
mhm.
it they received it well. So I wanted to
Yes.
spread it out further and share it with any individual who feels that they want to go a little bit deeper and become more consciously aware and present
Mhm.
in finding their own light within.
Oh, I love it. And, in writing and really, spending the time alone, in a journal, it will really help heal you and really kind of get you through those thought processes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the next one I want to talk about is your
Yes.
podcast. Okay. Master Your Crafts podcast. Again, you just, I don't see how you have enough time in the day. Um, but, but tell me why you felt like you really wanted to start a podcast, first of all.
I started it, I think it was 2019 or 2020, and it was really out of a selfish reason of being curious. I think I've always had a very
Yeah.
curious nature to speak to just different people around the world. And with this beautiful thing called the internet, and then the podcast came out, and I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
yes.
this is going to be a perfect tool for me to do that. And that then
Mhm.
truly transformed into aligning it on an energetic level to speaking with people like you. That's how we ended up connecting and meeting. I interviewed
Yes.
you on my
Yes.
podcast
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
really unravel some of your gifts that truly bring healing to the world and how you've really mastered that craft. So it was out of sense of curiosity, but really leaned into how it's supporting others, that there's not a cookie cutter way of how this is done. Everybody does it their own way, and it's supposed to be that way.
Absolutely. And I love what you said too. We have the wonderful thing, internet, that we can connect. And it is, and it's still morphing, podcast, it's still, and I just love that we're able to do it and have the technology and reach out to other people because we do. That's how we learn is from each other.
Absolutely.
And I want to bring up your website.
Thank
And
you.
I absolutely, if you're listening, you have to go to her website because I absolutely love this picture and the bright shining light. And it just, and you can just tell that you have not only healed yourself, but you're healing others and that you're on your pathway.
Yeah.
You can just tell through this picture.
Thank you.
So what is your, and I know the main thing is to heal people, but can you kind of tell us about your practice?
I work with individuals one on one. So when I work
Okay.
with individuals, it's one on one and it's deep diving. It's not for those who want to skirt around issues. No, it's time to roll up your sleeves. It's time to heal on a karmic level. It's time to heal your ancestry from the past, but also be able to pave a path for future generations. Whether you have children or not, it doesn't matter. It's the energy that is contributing. And align with what your soul really wants for you to experience and witness, to have that opportunity. And that's my objective, is to align with your soul, clear all the baggage and all the heaviness that we come in that we want to evolve and transform, and align with your own purpose. Because there's a very specific reason why you're here, why I'm here, why 8 billion people on this planet are here. Where each of us have our own unique gifts. And my gift is to be able to polish that through our one-on-one process journey together, so you can step into it.
I love it. I love it. And I know that it is such needed support that people, seem like they have lost themselves. And I think, we're having that spiritual awakening, that energy. And so it is so well needed. So thank you for offering your services.
Yes. Thank you.
Is there anything that we did not talk about that you want to make sure that we do?
There are many individuals who might have increased their connection with faith, be it a religion, be it from birth, or a newfound religion and faith that you might have connected with. I have, and I continue to support individual regardless of what their faith is. I come from a place of science, and I come from a place of spirituality. I have delved into many spaces, religions, and what their key nuggets and wisdom is that they are truly wanting to share. And that's what I highlight. So if people or individuals are interested, but they feel there might be a clash in terms of faith or belief systems, I address that right off the back. It doesn't matter to me, because it's the fundamental piece of what your soul is telling me, regardless of what belief systems that you have.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So wait, are you ready for the last question?
All right, let's do this, Michelle. Yes.
Let's do it. Let's spin it. Let's spin the inspiration wheel.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
The anticipation of it all.
Wow, there's some interesting questions there.
Yeah. Okay, so let me explain this. So if you had to pick a TV show that you wanted to be an actress in.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you're a drama person. So what TV program or show would you want to be in?
I don't know, Michelle. I don't watch a lot of TV, so I might have to get you to respin that one, because I really don't.
You want me to respin? Yeah, absolutely. Let's respin it.
Because I don't want to.
Okay,
I want to give you a real answer, right?
Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and spin it. Yeah, I removed it so you wouldn't have the same thing again.
Okay, good.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
One wish. Okay. Just go and spin it again.
No, we're good. I got
Okay. Okay. So if you were granted one wish, what would it be?
For the 8 billion people on this planet to truly tap into their own heart, to feel the unconditional love coming from their soul, to witness that, to feel it. Because what we know for sure is when we feel something, we can't deny it.
Absolutely. Where can they reach you?
brightshininglight.com. I'm on social media, Instagram, Naranjan Nota, or brightshininglight.com, and in Facebook, LinkedIn. So I'm on a fair few platforms, but all those links are available at brightshininglight.com. So I would love that.
See, all that social media, you don't have the time for anything, right? Okay. So on the impulse, so before we end, what is one word, just one word, you would like to say to everybody, to say it's like a goodbye, but that one word?
Ooh, that's a big one, Michelle.
I know.
Can I do two? Hyphenated word? I'm going to go with...
Absolutely.
I'm going to go with self-love.
There you go. Oh, and that could be one word. So you have heard it here, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed the show. And this week, this month, this year, have that self-love. And because you have the self-love, forgive yourself, do some healing in any way or form that you need to, so that you can be your love and your light best self. All right. I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.